Hey guys, it's Ross going on the Space Couch today. I've got a few bits of Tesla and Model 3 related news to tell you. So it was the annual shareholder Q&A the other day for Tesla Motors, where Elon will appear and people can just ask him whatever, and obviously you get a huge range of topics asked. But beforehand, him, JB Straubel, Franz van Holzhausen, and a bunch of other early members of Tesla Motors essentially gave a really good overview of the history of Tesla Motors from when Elon started looking at the AC propulsion stuff all the way through to the Tesla Model 3 launch. And yes, it was really interesting, fascinating insight, obviously some interesting anecdotes from some of the players who've been around since that time. It's worth checking out, but that is about at least 2.5 hours long, I think, from what I recall, because I saw several versions of the meeting. There's one, the first one's about 45 minutes, and then there's another one that's about 1.5 hours, and then there was one that was over 4 hours, but that included a bunch of dead time at the beginning, but also included the Q&A at the end. But anyway, on to the information. It came out from that Q&A meeting that although the Tesla Model 3, it's going to have the capability for supercharging, but it's not going to have free supercharger access, unlike the Model S and the Model X. This has, of course, been up in the air for some time because it was always essentially the case, from what I recall, that the wording was always going to be that the Model 3 will have free supercharging or what have you. They've kind of, over the last period, walked it back a little bit, worded it slightly different, so it'd be supercharge capable, which obviously is different from it being free as standard. So anyway, Elon was asked this at the Q&A, and he essentially says, look, as much as they would like to have free supercharger access for everyone, they just can't do it. There is a cost, albeit a small one, included on this, but when it's at the scale of hundreds of thousands of cars, they have to try and decouple the cost from the cars. So it's going to essentially be a paid option, like it was with early versions of the Model S. From what I recall, that option back then was $2,500, I think. I assume it would be in the $1,000 to $2,500 range to enable supercharger access. It could also be the case that, given that some of these cars will probably be the maxed out versions, you know, that at that point it is then free. You know, like say you order the version of like the P90D or what have you. I know it's not going to be that for the Model 3, but you know what I mean. So yes, Model 3 will be able to charge on the supercharger network. It will not have that for free. It's unfortunate, but it's hardly unexpected because, as we said, obviously the vast number of cars, the pressure on the supercharger network. Elon also mentioned that essentially the best place to charge your car is at home or at work. Actually, I think it was JB Straubel said that, I'm not sure. And they're right. You know, I mean, there is stories of people hogging some of the supercharger network locations in Southern California and no doubt elsewhere. I think there's one in Amsterdam, for instance, where a taxi firm was using the local supercharger network to charge. Anyway, that's the bit about the Model 3. He also was mentioning about the Model X and the doors. He essentially uses, yes, the doors. I mean, they're fantastic. They will work properly after the next couple of updates. He was saying they will actually work better than normal doors, as opposed to worse, which is what they're doing at the moment. But he did also, again, make the point that they put too much tech into that car. They should have saved some of it for later versions, rather than cramming it all in at once. And this is what they're going to do with the Model 3. It's going to have later iterations of technology. So yes, that was also very interesting. Again, Elon gets asked all sorts of questions, and it's great to see the wide diversity of Model S, X, whatever owners, from like teenagers all through to people who've owned several cars or on their 4th or 5th model. So anyway, guys, that was just a few tidbits from the Tesla shareholder Q&A I thought I'd share with you. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for an upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.